It's about getting other kids involved to give. And now our main focus, is our every day of the year impact, where we provide these anti-anxiety, positive distraction Saint Nick gift bags. And each gift bag typically contains a stuffed animal, coloring book, pop a toy, pack of crayons, and then a get well, more of like an inspiration card now, that is made by another kid. And all these bags are packed locally by kids, going to kids that are in need, just to provide them some sort of distraction relief of being in an unfamiliar place like a hospital or healthcare facility. So yeah, that's what the Little St. Nick Foundation is. It's, this is our 20th year, actually.
Here we go. Another Incubator Bonus episode coming your way. My name is Vincent Lanci, and this is That Entrepreneur Show. Will and I have had the chance to connect over this season. Will and I have had the opportunity to connect this year in the Incubator program. It's been a lot of fun to learn about his company. He's an all-star in the nonprofit space. Him and the team he works with is up to great things. If you've been following my journey, you know I have a passion for helping people in the hospitals, inside the schools, and I'm happy to now learn more about his business so I can do my part and hopefully making some connections for you. Everyone out there, they're doing great, great work in the community. Will can talk about it way better than I can. Will, thanks for stopping by That Entrepreneur Show.
No, thanks for having me on. I'm very excited and appreciate you wanting to hear my story and hear more about our organization.
Of course, I truly believe every entrepreneur has something they can share to another entrepreneur out there. This is the number one podcast for small business owners and entrepreneurs. If this is your first time with us today, we have been locked and loaded delivering weekly shows since December 2019. I'm excited to come up on 5 years this upcoming December, and that's only possible from great listeners like you tuning in today, awesome guests like Will taking time out of their day to join this show, because it is all around helping you succeed on your journey through the adversity we have already faced. I always love to start at the beginning, Will. When did you know you wanted to be involved inside entrepreneurship?
Oh, from as long as I can remember, my dad is a carpenter and always was doing jobs and working with his hands and owning his own practice, his own business. Working with my uncles, and just always saw him as an entrepreneur. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is something I like. I like being my own boss. I like being involved in growing something. And funny enough, my first journey as an entrepreneur, I was in the seventh grade. He started working for Florida's Natural, selling juice on the side. And there I was as a seventh grader, hustling kids, selling juice, creating deals, buy three, get one free, carrying in hundreds of bottles of Florida's Natural juice to school, to the point where the school had to come and talk to me and be like, hey, like, we know you're doing this for a good cause, because we were doing it, donating all the profits to the American Liver Foundation. And he's like, we know they're doing this for a good cause, but legitimately, Sodexo is complaining that they are seeing a decrease in sales. And I was like, I've been doing this for 1 week. And they're like, yeah, no student is buying drinks because they're buying them all from you. So as quick as that business got started, it got shut down. But I
That's
was like,
so funny.
I want to do this and I want to be a hustler. And I'm very lucky that I get to hustle in a hustle, for lack of better terms, but in a nonprofit space, because it's more about just grinding and being as passionate as I can to help these kids.
You're doing such great work. You just touched on something there in the beginning, though, with like nonprofit work. It's not as easy as just saying, hey, I want to start a nonprofit. If there's someone tuning in today that wants to get the initial steps started, what are some things they need to do in the beginning?
So I I wasn't one of the founders of my nonprofit organization. It's been around for 20 years. But what I've learned in the growth aspect of it being like a new organization to this community, so pretty much being like kind of the founder in Tampa Bay, it's you really have to be passionate about it, because it's so easy to start an organization and start a nonprofit or start a business just because you see it as um, in a business, people are like, oh, this is gonna be a quick way to make money, and they might not be passionate about it. But in the nonprofit space, you're not really in it for the money. If you are, pick a different industry, because it's not about that. It's about being passionate about giving back and helping out the community. So when I saw that when I met our founder, and our organization's all about not just helping the kids in the community, but inspiring the kids is what really hit close to home to me, because as somebody who was so active in their community and always looking for ways to get involved, like this is an organization that's all about providing opportunities for kids to give back, to be an entrepreneur at an early age by putting on their own events. So when it comes to starting it, if you're not passionate about it, it's going to feel more like work than it is like you're giving back. Like I feel like I am. I don't feel like I go to work every day. I feel like I get to do good in my community every day.
I love that. And that's certainly true. If there's no passion behind it, I don't even think you'd last very long because eventually, if you're not into it, you're not going to keep going. And with entrepreneurship, even a nonprofit entrepreneurship, you have to keep getting up after you're knocked down. Thank you for sharing some initial background on nonprofit work, Will. Let's now talk about the nonprofit you're more involved with, doing such great work. As he mentioned, it's a startup at one point, now evolved. He's working in the entrepreneurship space over at the Loth Center with me. Tell us about this company.
Definitely. So the Little Saint Nick Foundation, we're a nonprofit. We're all about creating positive experiences for kids all over the world. And we do that with our mission of kids inspiring and helping kids, where we want to inspire the kids in the communities to give back locally to kids in healthcare facilities and hospitals. And we're doing that. We're lucky. We're doing it at an international level, all with a localized impact. So we're the Little Saint Nick Foundation, and we were actually started by Ray Moeller Jr., who's also another incubator participant with us, and we both graduated from the University of Tampa, and that's when we met. But Ray had his own hospital experience when he was younger, and was fortunate enough to leave after about 8 to 10 hours of being in the hospital. But he asked his parents, do all these other kids that are in the facility get to leave like he does? And they told him the truth, that some are there for days, weeks, months, and even years. And he couldn't believe this and just wanted to give back to these kids. And his birthday happens to be Christmas Eve. And that's where the Little Saint Nick gets its name, because he wanted to donate
That's cool.
his birthday gift back, right? It kind of all works out with it. His parents, after doing it for his fourth and fifth birthday, it caught wind of local news. And for his sixth birthday, as they were starting to get donations from people, and not just toys, but people were like, we want to donate money so you guys can go and get more toys. His parents were like, let's start a nonprofit where, you're able to just be this kid who's giving all the time. And they were looking for a name, and it literally said Little Saint Nick Gives Back on an article. And they were like, let's do this, because originally that's how it started. It started all just based on Ray giving around the holidays and his birthday. And it wasn't until he was featured on a Nickelodeon documentary where a kid in St. Louis who had a broken arm saw it. And when he saw the documentary, he's like, I want to do everything that Ray did to give back to these kids that I'm leaving behind. And that's when Ray saw that it's not just about him giving, but it's about getting other kids involved to give. And now our main focus, is our every day of the year impact, where we provide these anti-anxiety, positive distraction Saint Nick gift bags. And each gift bag typically contains a stuffed animal, coloring book, pop a toy, pack of crayons, and then a get well, more of like an inspiration card now, that is made by another kid. And all these bags are packed locally by kids, going to kids that are in need, just to provide them some sort of distraction relief of being in an unfamiliar place like a hospital or healthcare facility. So yeah, that's what the Little Saint Nick Foundation is. It's, this is our 20th year, actually. We've been in Tampa for 5 years, but, really focusing on operations in the last three. And it's just been awesome. We expanded to now in the 7 states, and in the Canada and Mexico and Puerto Rico, all within the last year. And it's just been this awesome journey of working with different community partners across the country and now the world, all with the same mindset of, well, let's give back to our community, and teach that service to others, to everyone, to show that anybody can give back, and it's super easy to do that.
I love that. I've typed up a bunch of cool notes here, but I definitely wanted to show love again, as you said. Now expanding to 3 countries, 7 states. Everyone out there, every nonprofit starts as just, or every startup starts as just an idea, and then you get it off the ground. Now that vision, it's so cool to see this unfold. Please let your other team members know if they ever want to hop on the pod to share their experiences with your company. I think it would add a lot of value to our audience like you have today. What has been your biggest challenge you find working in entrepreneurship? You mentioned you've been with this company now for a while. What are some of the challenges of being on your own?
That's a great question because it's definitely been a roller coaster of everything where, it's very easy in a nonprofit to get frustrated because, at the end of the day, people are humans first, employees second, and then volunteers are, sometimes not even fourth and not even might not even be third or fourth or fifth on that list. So it's very easy to get frustrated when things don't work out. But we've had such just organic and positive growth. We call it the power of Saint Nick. So it's always reminding myself that good things are going to happen. But a unique struggle that for me is since I'm more of in the intrapreneur role. I am an entrepreneur within this, but it's also entrepreneur because I wasn't there for the name design, basic of it, the logo, the all that stuff. I wasn't a part of that. So at the end of the day, not um it wasn't like my dream of starting something, but my dream was to playing a rock band. So I'm not really worried about that one. But it's been awesome because I've been able to work alongside somebody, help them fulfill their dream, build my own goals, and have that opportunity to create my own goals and create my own path of success, not just within my career, but within my own professional development. So it was a little bit of a learning curve as I was getting started because, you can sit there and bounce ideas off of each other and think, well, one thing might work, not work, and one thing might. And it's just about learning how to work alongside somebody that is building something, but being able to still be a valuable asset to them and to make it still feel like it's my organization I'm a part of, and grow into that and not just have it always feel like it's somebody else's. So I'm lucky I've been with the company for 2.5 years, which is something that you don't hear of a lot of times. People our age, people are in a company for a year and then they're on to the next one for another year and a half. And then they finally might stick with something or they switch a lot. So for my second job out of college being, something I've been with for a while, it was an interesting learning curve, but those pieces of building it have just been so awesome and like okay now I see that like I'm still getting to do what I want but be a part of an even better mission.
I love it. This is why this guy is one of a kind. He brings his passion. He's so involved. And working in startup world, there really is nothing like it. It's always go, go, go. There's always something else moving to the top of the to-do list. And you said it perfectly before. It's like a roller coaster, and the extreme highs and the extreme lows is just part of the business. But we've spoken about a lot. Will, you shared your story. We learned all about your company. Before we find out how we can do some donations, how we can see what you have going on online, I brought this question back. I've been excited about it. It started with me in the beginning of the show. I took it out just to keep things fresh. But if you could sit down with any entrepreneur, dead or alive, for a coffee, just to get together, anything, who would you choose?
Wow, if I could sit down with any entrepreneur and just have a coffee or something with them, um I'll be honest, I think I gotta go with, I gotta stay local. I'm repping it today.
Yeah.
Jeff Vinnick with the Lightning, the owner of the Lightning, and he has just done so much for the Tampa Bay community and has such a passion for this area, and I do as well. And I would love to just kind of learn, not just about his journey to success and how he got there, but why he invested in the certain areas and put in more time in the certain areas to help build up the city. Because when I moved down here in 2016 to go to school, you didn't really walk around downtown much, and now you drive downtown, you might hit somebody. There's so many people walking downtown. So the passion that he has for the community is something that we both share. And I would just love to be able to talk more, not about the Lightning or about winning Stanley Cups, but about how someone in my position can continue to make this city even better than it has been.
Can't argue with that choice. I mean, if you're in Tampa listening to this, you know exactly what he's talking about from Water Street, everything down there. It was not like that. I mean, well, I got here in 2009. Imagine the biggest difference from that I mean, even at UT, for example, the chapel was just being built. It was just grass fields. The gym was not the gym. The pool was certainly not the new pool. It's great to be a part of Tampa. I mean, as a Jets fan, I finally had the chance to root for Tom Brady when he had the
Yeah.
Super Bowl brought here. That I think just brought too many people. Now looking at how everything is with traffic, but um,
I know. And I just saw articles that was like, last year I think Tampa was the sixth country in the world that people were moving to in the job market and all around. And I think this year it came up as second. And it's like crazy because it's like, the traffic is bad. I feel like it's not been some days I'm like, this is the worst traffic I've ever sat in. But then I always remember that I do work in Los Angeles sometimes. And I'm like, nothing's worse than that. Or growing up in New Jersey, driving into New York
yeah,
City, nothing's worse than that either. So I do have to, it kind of keeps me a little like calm when I am sitting in traffic. But yeah, I
yeah.
know. I mean, this city's only going to continue to grow, which is amazing. I'm just really intrigued to see how the city develops and adapts to that. And that would be if I had to pick another one. I mean, I'm hoping too soon, but the mayor of Tampa, Jane Castor, I'd always love to talk to her because she has been part of this growth more than anybody has ever seen, and in the last 6 years. So, yeah, it's been chaos being here, but it's also so awesome that the city is starting to become one of the cities that people are like, you know what, like Tampa's not, you know, Florida trash. It's a really awesome city.
Very well said. Big advocate for Tampa as well. We've got the sports teams. We've got things being rebuilt. There's a lot going on here. It's a great place to be, but we are at capacity. So if you're tuning in, I'm sorry, we are at capacity.
Yeah, come
So
and visit, but don't move.
I love it. Well, man, thanks for taking some time out of your day, Will. I know how busy everyone over there is at your company. It's been great to learn your history, your journey, and thank you for sharing some awareness about the great company you are a part of. Now, please tell us where we can find you online, all of that good stuff.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me on and for listening to my story and let me share it with your audience. And this has been great. So if you want to learn more about the Little Saint Nick Foundation, you can go to www.littlestnick.org. So Little Saint Nick, but the Saints abbreviated. And we have all different stuff on, you can go and make a donation. Every $10 packs a gift bag, which also inspires one kid to pack. So that double impact there. As well as if you want to get involved, we always could use get well cards and anybody can print those out, write a message, color them on our logo and send them back into us. And, we'll get those to kids in healthcare facilities. Or if you want to put on your own bagpacking event, we always do that. We can work with any organization and we've packed gift bags in conference rooms with businesses at breweries. So, we're always looking to, get involved with the community and support the kids in crisis that the community partner might be passionate about. But yeah, you can always find me there as well as on LinkedIn. Will White, we got Will with one L. And then if you want to give me a follow on Instagram, it's the Will White, Will with one L as well. You can check out all the fun stuff that I get into as well.
Thanks for sharing all that, everyone. Be sure to go online, say hello to Will. Great guy to have into your network and check out all the great work their company does. It's truly an honor to have got to know them and see everything come to life. They're a big deal here, especially in the Tampa community. With that, be sure to check us out online. We are at That Entrepreneur Show on all social media. I am at Vincent A. Lanci on all social and YouTube. If you want more information on the full service podcast production we have helping others with, reach out to Danica at podcastsbylancy@gmail.com and we'll get you scheduled with the call with me. But with that, we're signing off today, both of us in Tampa, for another Sunday release of this Incubator Bonus series. Thanks so much, Will.
No, thank you for having me on. I love this. This is great.
Thanks, Will.